Hi everyone, it's me Danielle, and I'm just popping on to share a little bit of update. Last time I shared a spirit guide art that I had done for someone, and she looked a heck of a lot like Audrey Hepburn when she was young and wearing a Greek outfit and Greek goddess. Okay, now um, that's the guide that my client hired me to draw, but I also wanted to draw another one because it was interesting to me. And then right behind that, I got hired to do somebody's spirit guide art. And I can't really show their main guide because, I keep everyone's name off my channel because, the channel's public and this is private. But her guide looked exactly like her. And so that was really interesting. And I've not come across that before. I mean, there's multiple theories. Either um, she was supposed to be a twin, and for whatever reason, that didn't work out, and so her twin is her guide, or it's her in another dimension, another reality of her is her own guide. And I've seen guides that are other aspects of ourselves. It's usually a different life, or the higher self. So this is the first time that it potentially is her from this life. So to me, I find that kind of interesting because I know that there's some people who, are like, don't trust your guides, don't trust your guides. Well, what if your guide is you or you from another life? Do you still not trust them? And so I can't show that one, but she had an interesting, and she wanted me to draw that one. Um, and I wanted to draw one of the more interesting ones because I do like to do the ET guides more than I like to do the human guides. I mean, I don't think that's a secret. Um, but she chose that. She also had, it was a red dragon, but I didn't see any arms or legs. So it was almost like a red snake with wings flying around. And she had a fairy spirit guide that was real cute. But anyway, so I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay, so this is the spirit guide that I was interested in drawing aside from the Greek goddess. She was a siren, and it looked like she is on a water planet. I didn't draw her teeth, but they are very sharp. They're kind of like piranha teeth. And she's got gills. And I don't know, she's not a mermaid, I'll tell you that much. I was calling her a siren because I don't know that they necessarily look human, but this is what this other guide looked like. So I drew it just because I was interested. The person who had the guide that looked just like them, um, they they had another guide that looked like he also was on a water planet, and he resembled the avatar. So I didn't really draw this. I just took the avatar, like a still from the movie, and I colored it green, and I added the lips because it had more like fish lips, and it had the really pointy piranha teeth. So with the wide nose bridge, just like Avatar, very similar. And this is what they look like. This is what the other guide looked like. So I wasn't really hired to draw this one. I drew the one that I can't show, but I thought I would just show this because there's two sort of water planet beings in the same week. I thought that was super interesting. So I did record both my meditations, but I'm gonna share one where something kind of interesting happened that I'm still trying to work out a little bit about it, but I will share that right now. I will timestamp it. So meet me at the end if you want to skip the meditation, and I'll show you the last spirit guide. I think I'm seeing a wolf standing on a peak. Maybe I'm seeing a spirit animal. Are you a spirit animal? You're looking a little bit like a dog now. Are you a dog that she has? Are you a dog that she had? All right, I asked us to connect with my client's spirit guides. Any that want to come forward. I feel like I was seeing an eye, and it was like, I'm not sure if it's in a sun or if it's the all-seeing eye. I'm wondering if my client's third eye is really open. And that's why I'm seeing that. I'm seeing, it looks like flowers, like the way they look when they're x-rayed, and illustrations, floral stuff. Still waiting for a main guide. Colors are changing, they're getting more fuchsia, purple. Am I seeing another animal? Is that like a lioness? Mountain lion? The animals are coming forward. Nature, animals. Is there guides that want to come forward for me? I'm seeing somebody with like a cloak over their head. You know, the way Virgin Mary wears hers over her head. Like a hood. I don't know. I don't know what they wear. I'm not seeing the face too well. It does look like a female though. I'm still trying to see. The color is like really a magenta, like a pinky purple color. I usually see the main guide first. It usually comes in some sort of order, I believe. So I'm wondering if this person, I didn't see him too clearly. I could tell it was a female and that they had the fabric draped around their face, like like a cloak. Is there any more clues you want to give me about who you might be? Are you a relative or ancestor? She's out of view already. That was pretty quick. Are you on her team? Or are you a relative? It's another female. Are you a relative? Yeah. Her hair's got some curl to it, and it's like this long, kind of a shag cut, I would say. I'm not seeing real clearly, though, what she looked like. Are you on her spirit team? That look like a yes. Color's purple. Of course, the age is never a determination because they can change their age, so I don't know. I mean, she looks like she's in her late 20s or 30s. Is there anything else you want to show me? Color is turning again. It's getting kind of pink. My client wanted a name of her main spirit guide. Did you guys pop it in my head? Do you want to try spelling it out for me? Maybe I can see it. You have to hold it for a while because you move faster than me. Does any other guides want to come forward? I see some blue, purple, magenta. I'm trying to connect to my guides, my client's guides. Is there anything you want to say? I could tell somebody's trying to take over my throat. It makes me gag. Is there something you want to say? I'm stepping back. I don't know if I can do that. Okay, so I have been getting where beings just, I see them come and they just jump in me. So, I'm clearly an open channel, and I think because I don't hear, that sometimes they just want to jump in because they want to use my throat and be able to communicate. I am not so far able to have that work for me, but I think it's just a matter of time. And I've talked to Michael Shaman about it, and he said that one day it would just happen. Until then, it does make me gag a whole lot. It's pretty uncomfortable. This is what happened. My dad did jump in one time because he wanted to say some things to my mom. And it was the same. I wasn't able to use my throat and just talk. I don't know what is preventing it, if it's my own ego is getting in the way. I tried to lay back and relax and all that, but the gagging is just like, ugh. I did with my dad, I'm familiar with his energy, and so I just knew what he wanted to say to my mom. I just knew. And then with this last one, I also just knew the name of the main guide because that's what I was asked to retrieve. It just popped in my head. That was easy. She did ask me to draw the other guide that looked more like a human. I think she was hoping that it was going to be her mom. And I was kind of hoping that too. But I'm going to share the drawing of that. So this is the guide that I drew. I did see that I thought there was another person with her that had a lot of wrinkles. So I thought there was another relative, but I think that she was showing me that time progression, that this is how she looked in her 20s. And then later, I think she was thin. So she had like very deep, lines in her face, the way you get when, when there's not, I don't want to say, when you don't have extra meat on your bones, you know what I mean? That your cheeks can get more hollow and things like that. So I think that she remained thin and she got older and had like some pretty deep lines on her face. That's what I saw. And I thought at the time that it was just another relative, but I think that it turned out to be the same woman. So maybe my client only knew her at that later point and not when she was younger. So I don't know. I think I can see what the guides look like and I can try to think about who they may be to the person, but it really is up to the client, and especially with the last one where it looked exactly like her, like there wasn't a difference. So it could be a twin, it could be her, and I think that is for the client to interpret, to discern for themselves. I'm not going to, obviously, until I hear or they're channeling through and saying who they are, then I'm not going to interpret what I see for the person. I can just relay the message. But it was interesting on the last one also that I saw that wolf and then there was a dog, and the client did have a dog that she was very bonded with and is still grieving. So I don't think that, the dog is alive anymore. And that is the same thing with my brother. However, my brother didn't have a dog at the time, but he had a wolf in another life, and he actually dreamt and saw when his dog was born. And so we were following, the local shelters, and I just knew that the dog is meant for my brother, so somehow it's going to cross our paths. And it turns out that a friend of mine had found a litter of puppies in the desert, and she was trying to find homes for it. So I sent the pictures to my brother, just like I did with all the litter of puppies that ended up at the shelter. And my brother recognized his dog from my friend. So he got his dog, and we have confirmed multiple times through seeing her on the astral. She will still look like a wolf on the astral, and so we know we've got her in our life now. But yeah, so if you get a pet, you may get a pet that is connected to you from a past life. And that's always a very special bond. My daughter feels like her cat, the Savannah that we have, is a soul bonded animal as well. So the bonds can be very special that you have with your animals, that your pets. Well, they don't really like to be called pets. We're their caregivers. That's what we say in animal communication. So, it can be kind of insulting to the animal. So we're the caregiver to our animals, and yes, they can be through multiple lives with us. So just wanted to talk about that a little bit. I'm a huge animal advocate, I'd say. So that last guide that did jump in and try to use my throat was an angel with black wings and a red cloak, very similar to Uriel, who I am familiar with. However, it wasn't Uriel, but there must be separate different orders of angels and stuff. So Uriel is different. This angel was like him in that they are not only of the light, they're of the light and the dark. So it's very interesting, the beings I get to meet because I get hired. So I just want to thank anyone who watched this. Thank the people who've hired me. I appreciate getting to connect to your guides and learn as I go about the different ways that we are being helped from the other side, be it guide, spirit animal, soul bonded, relatives, friends, and animals, whatever, or even another aspect of ourselves. It's very, very, very interesting, and I always am learning so much. So thank you very much, and I hope everyone has a beautiful week.